Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel, Like Minded. I'm gonna wait for a few of y'all to get in here. Let's see. Is this the right one? I'm just getting all set up right now. Let's see. Hope that each and every one of y'all are doing well. Soon enough, wrapping up 2025. So today's general reading, I think I'm really going to be focused on, as a collective, what we need to release in 2025 and connecting with spirit to see what we're going to be bringing in for 2026. All right. So I'm just getting all set up. Hopefully a few of y'all are going to see the notification. Okay. All right. So definitely want to start by cleansing some of the energy, and then I'm going to get into the collective reading. Go ahead and check the description box. I am offering one free yes or no pendulum reading question. All right. Offering one free yes or no pendulum reading question a day. And if you want like tarot questions read or more personal questions, you can check the description. But I'm definitely going to provide a collective reading. Just clearing off the energies. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me just create a banner really quick. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call this 2026 predictions and channeled messages. All right, and the sage is saging, okay? All right, so let's start off with 2025 and what or who or mindsets that we need to release. Okay, let's see. So what is it that we need to release? Hold on. Is this the deck? All right. Spirit, any messages for 2025 release? Okay. All right. So the first message that I am getting is for 2025, habits and people. Are there habits or people that we need to release that's not serving our highest good? And you know, habits could be anything as far as like your routine, your water intake, eating habits, hygiene habits. Something is not working, and I feel like with releasing this or this habit or people is going to increase our abundance. So in 2025, there is some type of habit or person that is like essentially holding you back from the bag, holding you back from either emotional abundance or financial abundance. And Spirit is saying like the first thing or person that comes to your mind, that is like they're saying right on the money. Okay. Okay. All right. Spirit, any other messages as far as releasing? Okay. So my guys are saying 2025 is really important to uh, release things that are creating uncertainty, maybe keeping you in survival mode. And I feel like for a lot of you, it could be mindset. So maybe thinking about Googling a core belief sheet and Googling negative and positive core beliefs. If you're able to identify the negative core beliefs that you resonate with, then that just gives you an opportunity to find a more healthy belief that you resonate with or you feel closer to. And it just takes repetition. So whether you write these down on sticky notes or index cards, put them in different places, the positive core beliefs that you want to believe going forward. So really checking in with your beliefs is going to be important so you're able to thrive in 2026. Nine of Cups. So this is really about wishes being granted, smiling from ear to ear. Spirit is saying like, maybe in 2025, there's certain things on your bucket list that you wanted to achieve. But Spirit said some of you were not taking action. And, sometimes it's just a little bit of action. As a therapist, I always tell my clients that even planning, visualizing, researching online, that all counts as action. Sometimes action doesn't look like the physical going out and doing the thing. So you want to think about the little stepping stones. What are the little action steps that you can take to actually let the universe know what and who you're trying to attract in? So some people I think get stuck in their head and they think that they have to complete like so much of it, but you actually just want to do little action steps over time because you're signaling out to the universe that you need the support of the universe, that you need the opportunities or the help. Essentially, my guys are saying like you don't have to do it alone. All right. So, if you feel called with a lot of my clients, I've been encouraging them to write like a goodbye letter or a release letter of who or what certain mindsets that they want to release and let go of in 2025. Send them off with love, whatever or whoever it is, because energetically you are making a decision to let those things go. Because then it'll energetically open up more space to attracting the people, the situations, the mindsets that you want the next year. And the new year technically isn't January 1st. It is in March. I don't know what date exactly, but springtime is more of energetically the new year. But that's another subject. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the 2026 predictions and see what messages Spirit has. Okay, Spirit, what messages for 2026 for the collective? So, going from 2025 to 2026, 2025 is the year of the wood snake. And you think about a snake and it's shedding its skin, it can be very uncomfortable. I almost see it like when you're a kid and you lose teeth and your teeth are going back, like it's not painful, but it's uncomfortable. We're moving into the fire horse year, which is going to be momentum. It's going to be taking action. And one of my guys just said, taking action. I feel like January, February, March, things are going to be moving very fast. So these last few days of December, think about how you can set your future self up for success. Do you need to cleanse your space? Do you need to work on cleansing your mind? Like trying to get things organized. My guys are saying getting your ducks in a row. All right, so embrace your emotions. Allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. Very beautiful. I haven't gotten this card before. So I love this. So a lot of you may know that I am a licensed therapist. I'm licensed in the state of Texas, Florida, Idaho, and South Carolina. I'm currently working on Vermont. But, I feel like with this energy right here, embracing your emotions, if you know how to take up space with your emotions or process or journal, or video journal, this is going to be very important. I always explain it to clients. It's like, say you have a dresser and you're stuffing clothes in it, and the clothes are representation of your emotions. Eventually, once you stuff in so many clothes, at a certain point, you don't know when, like, the clothes are just going to just be everywhere. So you definitely want to make sure that um, you're not suppressing your emotions. A lot of times with emotions, people don't really know what to do with them. If you Google a feelings wheel, um, a lot of the work is just identifying the feeling. Some people know mad, happy, sad, but there's so much vocabulary and verbiage around emotion. So you gotta feel it to heal it, right? And if you don't identify the emotion that you're actually feeling, you're gonna suppress it. So maybe you're feeling lonely, or you're feeling betrayed, or you're feeling annoyed. Um, if you do have an iPhone, if you go to Little Hearts app, they have a little check in there of your feelings. They have feelings there as well. 2026, definitely increase your vocabulary when it comes to your emotions, because you're going to be more in tune with yourself. Your emotions are like waves. So you want to make sure, like little waves, big waves, that you acknowledge the actual feeling that you're feeling, because you're going to allow it to pass through your body instead of energetically staying stuck in your body. It's definitely going to make you feel lighter. So this is a 18, which is 8 plus 1 is a 9. That 9 energy could almost you being in burnout, being exhausted. If you don't really if you feel like you don't have the tools when it comes to your emotions, therapy is a great tool. Schedule 4 or 5 consultations. You can utilize therapy directories, so you can look for a therapist anywhere in your state. It doesn't have to be near you in your city, but in your state. Schedule 4 or 5 consultations. Psychology Today is a great therapy directory, Therapy Den, Therapy for Black Girls, Therapy for Black Men. There's so many different platforms that you can utilize. With Psychology Today, you can toggle whether you want a male or a female. If you have insurance, if you don't have insurance, that's okay. Another 2 options, if you're looking for more cost efficient therapy, would be Open Path Collective. You would just go in there and look for a therapist, and the sessions are anywhere from $40 to $70 a session. If you want a lower cost, you would just search on Google therapist intern in whichever state you're in. And I think it could be anywhere. You could probably pay anywhere from 15 to 20 to 25, maybe up to $35 a session to see a therapist intern. Therapist interns are very valuable. I was a therapist intern at once, and most of what we do, a lot of what we do is actively listen, but therapist interns are very valuable, especially if you're really trying to get your feet wet into therapy, and if you don't have insurance, and maybe cost wise, you're not trying to spend $150 a session. So all right, let me see something really quick. Oh my gosh, I was just trying to make sure that this is live. I think I did. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me see something. Just trying to get my technology together. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right, so that was a lot. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. Because I feel like if nobody taught you how to regulate your body, um, told you how to like have a good relationship with your emotions, give yourself space. Therapy is like such a great tool to I always say like you're gonna get tools that you can use for the rest of your life. It is such a great investment, and you can get those tools, you can share those with friends, you can just the resources that you can get are just amazing. Let's see, Spirit, what other messages for 2026? Focus on love. Look for the good in everyone. Oh my goodness. I love this. And I love the colors on this card too. So, for this message, I'm getting so within, so without. If you're, focused on love within yourself, then you're going to focus on love, outside of yourself. A lot of times if people are seeing very terrible things outside of themselves, then they kind of discount the fact that maybe they're experiencing the opposite of love inside. Like, maybe they're experiencing some lack inside instead of, abundance. So it's either lack or it's abundance. So, really trying to see the good in other people, but most importantly, like seeing the good within yourself. As a therapist, I talk to clients all the time about, if I were to clone you, what kind of quality friend would you be to yourself? Like the way you talk to yourself, the way you show up for yourself, the way you take care of yourself. And I talk to a lot of people and they say that, they would not be their own best friend. Every relationship in your life is temporary. The only permanent relationship is the one with yourself. Nobody else is up here in your head except you. So it's like, why not make it a good place? Why not make it a peaceful place, a supportive place, a kind place? Like, why would you want to intentionally make it a terrible place? So, 2026, practice patience. I love this. My guys are saying, I feel like someone is saying, like, I've been waiting, I've been waiting, I've been waiting. But my question is, like, if you've been waiting on whatever it is, that new job, an opportunity, a partner, whatever it is, like, how are you waiting? What are you doing as you wait? Are you taking inspired action? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you being mindful of your state of being? Happy holidays. Because remember, like, we are all magnets. And if we are sitting there like, I'm still waiting, I'm still waiting, I'm still waiting, and complaining, we could be throwing off our manifestations. We could be throwing off what we are trying to attract in. It's always your state of being. If I feel frustrated or if I feel tired, I always check in with my state of being. Is there any way I can support myself better? Is there any way I can feel more comfortable in my body? Make a decision. I love this. I feel like for some of you out there, for the collective, there's a decision that you maybe need to make. Some of you know what this is. If it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, it's for someone else. If you're feeling super anxious or stressed, it's probably not the best time to make a decision. You definitely want to try to make a decision from a grounded place. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough rest? Are you hydrating yourself? I always say clarity is around the corner, but clarity is definitely going to, it's going to be hard to really hear or see the clarity if your nervous system is in a state of survival. Hi there, Sarah. Yeah, it has been a long time. All right, Spirit, what messages for 2026 for the collective? And I'll be answering yes or no questions at the end of this. And if you want to donate, you can go ahead and check the description. All right, when I'm in tune To the energy of abundance, I become abundant. Yes. So, one thing I like to do is, as a therapist, I always say if I can create a picture in your mind, you're never going to forget it. So, like, imagine you have like an internal kind of think of like Iron Man. You know how he has a thing on his chest? Think of yourself as like Iron Man, but say like you have an internal radio inside of you. And with this radio, there's different channels, right? You have FM, you have AM. And with these dials, it's all based off of your internal world. It's based on your emotions, it's based on how you feel, your energy, all of those things. Are you tired? Are you depleted? So essentially, the way that you attract in your abundance is those frequencies. And I've literally had clients, I'll ask them, like, where's your frequency at? And they'll say, well, right now I'm at, you know, 71.8, right? And I'm like, well, kind of try to visualize yourself going from that to 9.00. And they'll see the little dial going over. And then they'll tell me, like, oh my gosh, like my body feels lighter. My shoulders aren't as tense. Like I feel more optimistic. I feel more hopeful. You only have to do a little bit more to change your vibration. So hopefully that exercise is helpful, because you know your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So visualization is such a powerful tool, especially when you're dealing with abundance and or feeling lack of abundance. All right, let's see. Spirit, what additional messages for the collective? All right, my greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force. No, they don't. They come through freedom. Yes. I really feel like, you know, a lot of times when I'm talking to people, they say, like, I have to push through. I have to be strong. I have to, you know, just struggle through it. And I'm like, you know, how would it feel to like go through life with more of a flow? Yes, there's uncertainty. Yes, it may feel like at times you're not doing enough, but like if you're always doing things, how is the universe going to know to come in and help? The universe is going to be like, oh, they got it. They don't need any help. And I'm like, no, I need as much help as I can get. So if you're doing all the things, it also shows a lack of trust that you do have this support around you. So, you know, taking that inspired action is so important. Yeah, it is the year of the fire horse 2026. I'm so excited for that. I'm just excited that the just the momentum of the year is going to be fast. I'm a fire sign. I'm a Sag, so I love me some momentum. I love to pivot. I love to adjust. So as long as we have movement, because I felt like the year of the snake, I just felt like it was just, it wasn't terrible, but I do feel like it was slow at times, very slow. Yeah. Yeah, I think with Chinese zodiac, I am a tiger. So supposedly the year of the tiger, or that year of the tiger is supposed to be having a good 2026. I'm for it though. Always make sure you're tapping into your autonomy when it comes to tarot readers, when it comes to psychic mediumship, when it comes to astrology. If it's making you feel bad or if it's predicting too much, like take the messages that resonate. Like if it feels bad, if it feels heavy or creates fear, then that probably isn't probably shouldn't what you should be listening to, because you don't want people speaking things over your life. Like hypothetically, think about a witch, right? A witch, she creates spells, and the base word for spelling is spell. So like I tell my clients, you are literally always casting spells over yourself. So you want to make sure you're speaking good things over your life and not terrible things. Like when I hear people say things like I don't know, I don't even want to say certain things because I'm on YouTube, but if you say, you know, negative things over your life and like, oh, I'm kidding, it's like you just have to be very mindful of what you speak over yourself. Very important. If any of y'all right now in 2025 are dealing with some type of challenge or anything like that, we have peaceful resolution. Something's going to be working out very fair, very just. Some of you could be dealing with legal or court things or some type of uncertainty, and I do feel like it's going to be working out in your favor. Ooh, look for a sign. I love this. I play this little game with spirit. Like I'll try to I'll say a yes or a no. Like I'll say yes, I want to see a red cardinal, or a no, I want to see a blue jay. And then like that day I'll see like four cardinals, and I never see cardinals. So, maybe it's a butterfly, maybe it's a penny, maybe it's a feather, but you can literally ask the universe for signs, especially if you're dealing with, some type of uncertainty. Because with your guides, with your angels, with your ancestors, you know, they everybody has free will. So if you want to ask for help, I ask for help all the time, because you not only have help in this physical realm, you have help in the spiritual realm as well. And it's not up or down, it's literally right here. As a psychic medium, it's like I connect with so many different types of spirits, and if you could literally just see, and mind you, I can't see everything, but I can see the things that are presented to me. It's just like, I don't know, it's magical. We have abundance. Yes. I feel like 2026 is really going to be an abundant energy. So I love that. Like, bring on the abundance. And abundance not only financial, it's emotional, it's health, abundance of health, abundance of emotional stability. All those things are so important. So I'm going to pick a few more cards, and then I'm going to get into free yes or no questions. One free yes or no question before the new year. All right, Spirit, what other messages for 2026? We have the moon. So, with the moon, it brings uncertainty. It brings, for some of us, doubt, fear, anxiety. Like I was saying in the beginning of this stream, write a goodbye letter. Write what you want to release in 2025. So if you have anything that is kind of holding you down, write it out. Write it out. Anything that is like bringing you any type of challenges, any type of conflict. This could be internal or external. Just write it off and just know that like everything's going to work in your favor. There's going to be a peaceful resolution. Sometimes we don't have to always figure things out. Sometimes we can just surrender. Sometimes we can just surrender and allow the energies to kind of work things out. We have the Knight of Wands. So, this is some type of energy about passion, hobby, focus, determination. It almost reminds me of like the fire horse, like just very fast energy. So I love that. Let's see. Well, we definitely got some new beginnings coming in here with the Ace of Wands. This could be a new beginning, a new opportunity. This could be a new job. This could be a new creative passion, but it does have some type of energy of like spark or creativity, some type of growth, some type of expansion. Also, for some of you, my guys are saying like you could dream, keeping a dream journal. You could get insight through your dreams. So make sure you're like writing down your dreams. And the final card for 2026 is we have the Sun card. So happiness, joy, abundance. I love this. I love this. Sometimes life is going to life, but as we go through 2026, if we are focusing on taking care of our basic needs, are we getting enough water? Are we getting enough food? Are we getting enough rest? Thinking about our emotional needs. Anytime you feel a big feeling, it's just an emotional need. Are we going to experience uncertainty? Are we going to experience some feelings or emotions that are uncomfortable? Yes, right? Are things going to happen in life that we don't care for? Yes. But you have to remember, when you're feeling a little lower, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling whatever you're feeling, it's just a part of you asking for support. So 2026, I want to encourage you all to remember that if you are struggling with anything, ask others for help, maybe seek therapy, but most importantly, focus on how you're going to support yourself. Focus on how you can be your best friend and how you can show up for yourself. Because I know I talk to a lot of people and they show up for everybody else. They sacrifice for everyone else. I feel like we grow up in a society where we are taught and we are programmed to serve other people. And nobody teaches us how to serve ourselves. So let 2026 be the year where you serve yourself, where you focus on yourself, where you make yourself a priority. The more you fill up your cup, the more you can show up for the people that you love. Like, I know it's counterintuitive. It's like, wait, is that selfish if I just focus on myself? No, because if you're pouring from an empty cup, how are you going to give? What is the quality of what you're giving to other people? So I'm excited for 2026. I think it's going to be a good year. All right, so I'm going to get started on the pendulum readings. Let me just take this off. Cool. All right. Hope that each and every one of y'all are doing well. I've been busy with the therapy side of things. I got licensed in other states. So that has been keeping me busy. All right, let's see. All right. And my chair is, there we go. All right. All right, Sarah, I see your question. All right. Let's see. Oof. Also, like, when y'all, like, as a therapist, a lot of times we work on setting goals. Sometimes people don't know how to set goals, or if they set goals, like this, the action steps are so big, or the stepping stones are so far apart, where you kind of set yourself up for not being successful. When you set goals, think about little action steps. And I only thought about it because I drank my water. I'm setting goals to drink more water. It wasn't enough. So I did find this hack online with adding like a little apple juice and like cutting it, which was really helpful. But think about little things that you can do, especially like if it's something like water. I'll set my water bottles out in the beginning of my day and they're all looking at me. So if you can have your habits in your face, that's a good way, or anything that you want to work on. If you can have it in your face, then it'll set you up for success. All right. Here we go, Sarah. Let's see. All right. Spirit, what messages? Yes, no, maybe so. We got. Okay. Yes. You know, Sarah, I am getting a yes, but I'm also getting, when it comes to connections coming in, not only romantic partners, I feel like you're going to have a couple of significant partnerships come in, but it's not necessarily just only romantic. I do feel like it could be in regards to business or friendship or some type of community. Like, you're going to be building or growing your community, like the people that you can that can help you, that can support you this year. So I love that. Remember, your vibes attract your tribe. Hi there. Oh, thank you. Yes, your vibes attract your tribe. Let's see. Spirit. Let's see. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So I'm getting a yes for you. Okay. Anyways, I am getting a yes for you. I don't, the only thing is, like, I feel like this person missing you is almost like they'll never admit it. Like, it's secretive. I don't know why it would be a secret to miss someone. Maybe they're not very upcoming, up forthcoming with their emotions. But yeah, I am getting a yes. I changed my room. No, I didn't change it. I don't know. Maybe Larry just got bigger. Maybe. He's probably thirsty. I need to change some things. But no, it's the same little feather and light. I cleaned it. Maybe energetically that's the change that you're feeling. Because yes. I consider myself a clean person, but I'm a little cluttered. Just a little bit. But I think, honestly, I think being cluttered just adds character. But I'm a Gemini rising and a Sagittarius sun. So my Capricorn rising partner would say that I'm a little hoarderish. But I am not a hoarder, okay? I'm just a little cluttered. But I accept that about myself. Okay, anywho. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, Firebird. Secretive and stoic. Ooh. Yes. Larry did get bigger, huh? I have a fiddly fig out there, and I don't know. He doesn't really grow much. I don't know if I need south-facing windows. I have plants all on this side. I need to change my room to where y'all can see my plants. Y'all know what I did? Okay, so like when my plants start dying or drooping, it's like a reflection, like maybe I'm not taking care of myself. So anywho, what I did was I went and just thrifted like different jars. So now most of my plants are all in water. They're all in water. So now I just have to change out the water. I don't have to like bottom water them anymore. But they seem to love it. They seem to be doing good. So anyways. Yes, I do. But Sarah, it's like I got a lot going on because I spend a lot of time on TikTok. I'm trying to, ultimately, my private practice is almost to the point where it's full. Um, and with it almost being full, now I'm noticing that the one-on-one isn't working for me. So I really help people one-on-one. It's really my goal to like help more people. So I'm trying to figure out what that looks like, whether it's like writing a book or doing webinars or doing some type of like workshops or classes. But I want to be able to help more people at one time so I don't have to trade my time for money. So that's my goal in 2026, maybe getting on different larger platforms. Anytime I like people run into my channel, they're like, where have you been? And I'm like, I've been here. So I just think that people just don't know I'm here, but I'm really excited for 2026 because I don't know, between my mental health background, my spirituality background, my Reiki healing, I just feel like I would be able to help people on their healing journey. So all right, focus. Let me get focused. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. What deck do I want to use? Okay, I'll be back. Let me see. Do I want to use this one? I should have had all this prepared. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Let's scoot back up. All right, let's see. Okay. Oh my goodness, my chair keeps. There we go. Spirit. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay. Is his name pronounced Brennan? Brennan? I'm so awful with names. Spirit, what messages? Oh, so we're starting off with new beginnings. So I love that. It's fresh energy, intuition. Mm. We have a progression. We're going from 0 to 2. So I do feel like, oh, nice. Capricorn rising. Okay. I do feel like your intuition is on point. I do feel like your intuition's on point. But I also, gotcha. But I'm a Virgo. I can see his spirit friends as well. It's so funny because whenever I look at me and my partner's chart, like the Gemini and Capricorn, it always says friendship. But I don't know. It's romantic. But that's the thing. Like, I think like relationships are relationships. And I think sometimes people see it as a hierarchy. But I think your intuition is on point. But you know, with a new beginning, sometimes I'm wondering if there's like some hesitancy or some nervousness because my guides are showing me somebody putting like ducks in a row, literally. Like, I almost feel like this person is like, things have to be organized or things have to be perfect or a certain way before they communicate. Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, before they communicate how they feel. But I do feel like this person may overthink or may be in their heads. Page of Cups is like the beginning of news. It's very heartfelt, the very beginning. I could see this person potentially asking you on a date. I do feel like maybe there's some type of hesitation because y'all do work together. But I do feel like they feel like they could make things official. Like they could like officially ask you out on the date. I feel like they definitely see some type of partnership here because with the Hierophant, that's like some type of contract. That's like some type of making things official. I definitely feel like you're gonna get clarity soon because you have the Page of Cups and you have the Ace of Swords. I almost feel like this person has already like recited this in their head, like them talking to you or them engaging with you or initiating with you. That's Spirit. What other information though? I feel like they may feel a little torn. They may feel a little torn. I don't know if it's back to the should I pursue somebody that's in the same work environment. This could also be like an internal battle. I almost get a feeling of like, is this person going to like me? However, I do feel like this person is confident. I don't feel like they're not confident or they're not like comfortable in their skin, but they're not in your head. So but I'm definitely feeling like there is chemistry there. We have the 10 of coins. So I do feel like I feel like this person, like with their values and how it's aligning in the energy that I'm reading, that this person takes relationships or connections very serious, may be slow to approach or move, but I feel like they are the type of person that has solid roots. Because the Ten of Cups is like very family oriented, like leadership, very credible. Um, so I feel like I don't know. One of my guys just said like when they love hard. So maybe that's why they're taking their time. Um, but definitely feeling the connection. I definitely feel like he feels a connection with you, and he's kind of wondering if you feel that way too. But if he doesn't say anything, how are you gonna know? Yeah. Thank you so much. Hold on 2 seconds. Somebody was mad at somebody, so. All right. Okay. So I hope that those messages resonate. Let's see. Thank you, Sarah. Definitely wishing you the best for 2026. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, no, maybe so. What you got? Okay. I'm getting a not yet. I'm getting a not yet. The thing is with the pendulum is very much so timing of things too. Maybe they're getting things in order, but I'm getting a no, not yet, not right now. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Spirit. Let's see. All right. Spirit, what messages? I'll get right back to your question. Let's see. So my guys are showing me, Sarah, they're showing me somebody handing something to other people. So I'm getting a sense that they see you as someone that is very supportive, very helpful, good communication skills. I feel like some of them feel very comfortable with engaging with you. I don't know if they previously had bad experiences with supervisors. We have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is typically about a past energy. They can feel very familiar with you. Like I said, I get this energy that they feel very comfortable with you. We have the Four of Wands. This is a very like homey. It goes back to home, comfort. My guide said that some of them feel very seen. I don't know. Like I get the sense like they feel like you treat them as like humans or individuals, like you're very understanding. Yeah, the Ace of Swords. So that's you maybe having really good ideas, thinking outside the box, being very solution focused. They definitely see you as somebody very credible. We do have the Queen of Swords. You're also like not a pushover. Like you're not about to play. Okay, so you're not a pushover. So there is a level of respect there. They do take you serious, but I still feel like there's a balance there, if that makes sense. I'm getting that in my head. Like I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. I'm not a regular supervisor. I'm a cool supervisor. Okay. Spirit, what additional messages? Three of Pentacles. So with this energy, this is growth. This is expansion. This is learning. I do feel like you cultivate an energy where people do want to grow. People want to learn. Maybe people feel inspired to want to stay in the company, because people don't leave companies, they leave people. So if I do feel like you make them feel comfortable to like learn and grow and expand. That's funny. I like that. I like that. I'm wondering, is there anyone in particular on your team, or does your team deal with like high levels of stress or anything like that? With the Nine of Wands here, somebody may be burned out. Maybe you've checked in on someone that was experiencing burnout. Hi there. But overall, I feel like your team feels very supportive. They feel very safe. I feel like you give them their flowers, you recognize them. If you do give feedback, like you're constructive, like you give them something positive and then something that they can work on, I just feel like they feel very supported, very seen. Yeah, I got that with the Nine of Wands. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was picking up on. And they recognize that because I think they've had supervisors in the past where they have been tired or sick or whatever, and they just disregarded them, like they just forgot that they're human. So um, I love it. I think they love it. Look at that, the Nine of Cups. I feel like you are doing your thing as a supervisor, and I love that, especially being in an environment that is high stress. You know, so I love that. Oh my goodness, you're definitely a rare breed because I've had some supervisors, and I'm a good employee, but I've had some supervisors. I'll tell you. All right, let's see. All right. You said impatient psych. Yeah. Eee. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I feel like for the amount of positions, there's not enough actual credible leaders. Because I feel like for sometimes with people in management, they treat their staff like robots, and it's like, you know, there has to be some type of like empathy training, I don't know, communication skills and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, as far as like if you are, attracting in a certain person, going back to getting back your SP, um, you know, and this could be for anyone, especially like my clients as a therapist that are single or my spiritual coaching clients. I always say like your vibes attract your tribe, and a lot of people say they want a relationship or they want to attract people in, but then their internal does not show that. One exercise that I love is taking a love language quiz. There's 5 love languages. Finding out what your top 3 love languages are is going to be very helpful. Whether it's quality time, acts of service, gifts, words of affirmation. Then what you want to do with those love languages are you want to think about your top 3, and you want to think what are like small action steps that I can show these love languages to myself. Because if you don't know how to love yourself, then who are we attracting in? Right? So, one, you're going to be loving yourself, you're going to be meeting your needs. And two, if you know your needs, when you do have a partnership or friendship or whatever relationships, you're going to know how to communicate your needs. Because a lot of times I notice like people think that their partners or friends are mind readers, and we're not. This lifetime in this human form, we are not able to read minds. Even as a psychic, I can't read minds. Darn it. Well, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know if I'd be able to want to know how to do that. But yeah, it's really important to work on your state of being. So, like, if I'm frustrated or if I'm feeling a big emotion, I always ask myself, what is my state of being? Because if you are feeling big emotions, that's okay, but it's really about how do you support and nurture yourself in that moment. And it's probably like an unmet emotional need that you need in that moment. So, the love languages and finding ways how to love yourself, quality time, that could be taking yourself out on a solo date. Um, because if you're really good at loving yourself, you're going to attract in partners that want to love you just the way that you want to be loved too. So, but if you're speaking negative to yourself, if you're being harsh with yourself and unkind to yourself, and being unkind could be like not getting enough food to eat, or, holding it and waiting to the last minute to go to the restroom. And I know that seems so simple or so little, but it's huge, because if you are your priority, it's like, oh, I need to take a break and go to the ladies' room, or, oh, am I hydrated, right? Like, your largest organ is your skin. So, your body, your movement, how you look tells you a lot about what's going on in the internal world. Everything is information. Nothing is bad, nothing is good. It's all information. Because people tell me all the time, oh my gosh, you're glowing, or you're this, or you're that. And I'm just like, just trying to get that water intake in, y'all. Okay. But yeah, just think about like what makes you dull, what like depletes you. It's like one thing that I notice a lot with my clients is people are not getting enough sleep. If you are not getting enough sleep, trash, trash. Because the way that your day starts, it starts from the evening or the night that you have. The success of my day to day, how I look, my hair, everything started last night. And it started with my nighttime routine, my hygiene. Don't have to be crazy. You know, it doesn't have to be anything. I don't have a 15-step facial care. Oh my God, no. All my stuff is in the shower. Shower, wash my face, moisturize, done. So how you end your night is going to set you up for success or maybe not success for your day. So, really taking care of yourself is so important. So important. As a therapist, I talk to so many clients that just talk to themselves so terrible, saying things like, you're stupid. You're an idiot. Oh, my favorite one, you're lazy. You know what's crazy? Because a lot of people will label themselves with you're lazy when actually in reality, they actually just experiencing low motivation. Low motivation is not having the gas in your gas tank to get the things done that you want to get done. If you don't have the energy or the gas in your gas tank to get things done, but you want to do those things, then that X's out laziness. You're not lazy. So going back to the feelings wheel and just having the right vocabulary, you want to make sure if you are putting a label on yourself, that it's actually true. And I was saying this earlier, and going back into like, love life and attracting people in. If you think about a witch, right? I don't identify as a witch, but just saying, if you think about a witch, what does a witch do? A witch creates spells, and the base word for spelling is spells. So we are all, just imagine we're all like little witches, right? We are all casting spells. We are all speaking over our life. So you want to make sure that the mantras that you're saying and the stories that you're telling yourself is what you actually want, right? A lot of times I notice when people are attracting in love, they'll say things like, oh, there's just not any good men out here, or there's no good partners out here, or, the dating pool's so small. Why would you say that? Why? And because for me, like I will create this picture to my client and I'll go, what if you had 1,000 people in line, like a dating show, and they only want to date you? And they're like, well, that sounds ridiculous. I'm like, well, if we keep thinking the same things, we're going to get the same results. So for 2026, if you want to attract in love, I think having 2 or 3 affirming statements or mantras would be very helpful, because you not only want to focus so much on a romantic partner, you want to think about community. You want to attract in healthy friendships. You want to connect with healthy family members. You want that healthy relationship with yourself, most importantly. So thinking about mantras, like instead of like, maybe you have a belief of it's so hard to meet somebody. Maybe we could think of something better like attracting love is easy. But you have to find one that like resonates with you, you know? Because think about it, like you're an author. You're writing a book to your story. I'm writing a book to my story. And every day is a chapter. So sometimes I notice with clients that they're not the only ones writing their book or their chapter. They may have a parent in their head, or they may have family members' opinions in their head, or they may have social media or society's expectations writing their chapters. So then that almost tells me that those people are living off of autopilot. They're not even intentionally living their lives. So I want you to like think about your day to day as like you writing a chapter. You know? Like you really want to treat each day as like a way to write your chapter. Also romanticizing your day to day or your lifestyle is really helpful too. Like instead of like, ugh, I have to do laundry today. How like that doesn't feel very good. But if we're visualizing, say like tomorrow I'm gonna focus on cleaning, right? Past me would have been like dreading it. I'm dreading cleaning. But say mindset shift me is going to romanticize it. So that looks like me visualizing the day before, me cleaning. So what does that look like for me to clean and romanticize it? Maybe that looks like me opening the windows, putting on some candles, or like the little simmer pot with the cinnamon and the orange and make your house smell good vibes, right? Putting on some music, dancing, doing the laundry. Like, how can we create the experience of doing tasks that we don't necessarily want to do? We can do that in our day to day. You can romanticize work. Like, there's so many things that you can do, and it all starts in your mind. I say your mind is a garden. Is it full of weeds? Is it full of fruit trees or vegetables or, abundant plants? Or is it full of weeds? Is it full of ants? So a lot of, especially when I'm working with clients like Reiki energy healing, a lot of the healing takes place right here because that's where a lot of the harm is, or the resistant energy. hmm So it's all about your mindset. So if you could think about your day to day and think about yourself as a radio frequency or energy, think about like, what am I giving out? Because that's what I'm going to give in. Like I do this little thing, like whenever I go to the grocery store, I always say things like, I'm so lucky, or I'm going to get the best parking spot, or I'm going to attract the shortest line. And typically when I go to the grocery store, I'll be on the phone with my friend and she's like, did you get a good parking space? It's just little things like that that really help. So if you want to attract in love or your SP, you really got to focus on yourself. Have y'all seen that girl on TikTok? There's this girl on TikTok and she'll be like, you're Chinese now. And she's like, if you're Chinese, like, you don't drink cold water. You only drink hot water. And she tries to make people into like a Chinese baddie. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but I think she's hilarious. And I just thought about it because I'm drinking cold water right now, which is a no-no in the winter time. But I just wanted something different. I usually do like room temperature water, so. But yeah. Oh no. Uh-oh. Okay, I have been on here for over an hour. Well, this has definitely been lovely connecting with you all. And, if you're here for the replay, definitely check out the 2026 reading. All throughout this video, just different exercise, just different things that you can utilize for your mental health, your spiritual health. But yeah, well, definitely wishing you all love and abundance for the rest of 2025 and going into 2026. And till next time. Bye.